Hi, it's Grogs here. Just been to pick up the Jeep from Vehicle Mechanical in Canning Vale. Been having a few problems with the vehicle, as you know. It broke down coming back from Pemberton on the Bunbury Outer Ring Road. I've been having trouble with the transmission, and I'd taken it to a couple of mechanics and went for a second opinion on one of them, and they said the transmission was kaputski and that I would need to replace it. Gave me a quote for a new one, gave me a quote for a second-hand one, and then went on to say it's not probably not worth it because of the cost of the vehicle, so they recommended that I sell it for parts. And it just happened that one of their guys was looking for one for parts and offered me $1,500, which was a red flag. So I thought, no, tell you what, just drain the transmission fluid, top it up, and I'll drive it home, and I will deal with scrapping it myself. Anyway, the vehicle ran really well after that. There were no issues with the transmission, so I thought, well, maybe just the transmission oil being changed helped. It was apparently the oil was quite black, which indicates something burning inside the transmission. Could be clutch, could be any number of components breaking down. So I thought, okay, well, look, if I can keep it running for another 10,000 k's or 20,000 k's, that'll be good, and then I'll probably sell it for bits and get something else. Coming back from Bunbury, it breaks down, the transmission warning light comes on, service transmission, blah blah blah. This light, when it came on before, the vehicle would go into first and wouldn't change, but it also overheated. So I thought, oh, it must be something to do with the cooling system in the transmission. So anyway, had to get RAC to tow it back to Perth from near Bunbury, which was an ordeal on its own. 6 hours to get home, even though I had the top cover for roadside assist. Anyway, I decided to go and get another opinion on the transmission, so I filled up the radiator with new cooling fluid, drove it down to Kelmscott. The thing overheated again, so I got it towed by RAC again to Vehicle, who have been my regular mechanics for years and years. They found that a hose between sort of sits under the engine above the suspension, quite a difficult job to get to, so I couldn't be bothered doing it. So they fixed it for me, and I said, look, while you're doing it, give it its regular service and also drain the transmission and replace the fluid, even though it had only been done a few weeks ago. And they drained. I said it did have a little bit of colour in it, but that's probably the residue from the previous mechanic not cleaning it or not flushing it. So anyway, they put the new hose on, topped up the cooling system. She's running beautifully, sitting just above a quarter on the gauge now. They tested the transmission, drove it hard, and there's nothing wrong with it. So I'm hoping that this might be the end of the saga for a while, because I quite like the Jeep. You know, it's getting on a bit. It's done 230,000 k's, but it's a turbo diesel, goes like the clappers, and after having WRXs, I do like the turbo, particularly when I'm passing on the highway, going to Albany and so on, towing the big trailer. I want plenty of grunt, and this car has the capacity to do it. It's got all the bits and pieces that I want on it. It's got a few dents and scratches in it, so it means that I can park it in a car park without having to stress about some idiot opening their door on it, because it's already got enough dents in it. So the moral of the story is, when the mechanic tells you what your vehicle needs, get at least one more opinion. Reminds me years ago of a Sid James sitcom called Bless His House, where he had to take the boss's Rolls Royce home for the weekend or something. I forget the circumstances, but anyway, the Rolls Royce breaks down because something Sid had done wrong to it. And when the boss comes in, he goes, "Where's my roller?" He said, well, it's at the garage. And the boss says, "Well, what's wrong with it?" And Sid says to his boss, "Do you know anything about cars?" The boss says, "Well, no." And he goes, "Oh, good." Oh, good. So he proceeds to tell him that the sprocket's gone on it. The sprocket. I loved it. It's been a thing for me ever since. The sprocket's gone on it. So when something breaks and I don't know what it is, I just say the sprocket's gone. So all my sprockets are good in my gearbox apparently, so happy days.